can see where you are weaker, even though you're maybe not having the best day of your lives. There is always something to improve, right? So you want to play as best that you can to see
Oh,
where you
absolutely.
might be lacking a bit. So that's what I expect from Team Spirit, even if they lose. But according to the draft, they have a pretty decent chance of winning. And I still cannot believe though they want to play against this Pugna. And I think that maybe there's a reasoning behind it. So in TI10, I always looked at it. Whoever beats the Lycan Tiny is gonna be winning this tournament. And they were the ones who found an opening for it, and they could let it through, thus focus on some other bans. Maybe in this TI, they feel like Pugna is going to be one of the big heroes to beat, and they just want to get used to playing versus it.
Yeah, there's always something to learn, right? Like just let the hero slide through, so we can we can analyze it more and see how it works out. Then again, you know, there's also the possibility that Pugna is just a thing of this tournament, that we might not even see it happen in TI. Though the hero pools usually in the international have been big, but I will say something, because we did have a pretty heated discussion about this with a couple buddies of mine about TI in the past few years and how stale the meta has actually been in the last year. We've actually had less and less pro games when it comes to the top tier tournaments with every passing year. This year having even less than the year before and before that and before that. The hero pools, there were a lot more contested heroes, and I want to be specific, contested, not uncontested. There were much more contested heroes in previous TIs, except for last year being the exception, where there was a lot more uncontested heroes showing up in the pool. And it's like, wait a minute, like is the hero pool just getting narrower and now narrower? Comes to talk about how highly developed today's Dota is, and really min-maxing the strengths of what heroes are good, what the meta's like. It doesn't move that much compared to previous years. So surprise picks might be falling into a void. Meanwhile, first blood hunt here with Team Spirit trying to get it off of Crit Snapfire. And a bit more needed here. Miposhka's last right click will take him out. So Spirit on the board first.
I just have a question that you don't even need to answer. How do you turn that discussion into a heated one? Like, how do you get mad at each other or start discussing points a little bit in a heated way if that is your approach? But sure, you do you. However, this mid lane is definitely gonna be nice for Morel, and it is gonna be doing so much for his confidence because you're beating Malrine. This is the guy to beat in the competitive scene.
Yeah, people to beat, and topics to hold, and points of views. You know, we have a lot of them in Dota. We all see ways differently, which I think has always been the richness of Dota. You disagreed with the Bristleback in game 1, but look how it turned out, and still Amar willing to pick it here in game 3.
I feel like I disagree with the Mars heroes quite a lot overall, and a lot of the times he proves me wrong just because he's that good, right? So I think I just have to start agreeing
You're
with
jinxing
Amar.
Yeah, I think just keep that style. Keep that style. You're jinxing it every time, so you're setting up a good game for Amar, right?
Yep. Now he has a decent game. One thing that he has to be afraid of is the Primal Beast, right? That's one of the reasons that I kind of thought that it would have been a good hero, Aghanim Scepter, Primal Beast versus the Bristleback. But other than that, this is a solid Bristleback game.
Goes along nicely with Corrosive Dragon in your team, especially with the viscous nasal goo. Even if it's not Snot Rocket, but it does help out Skitter in terms of damage output.
And you're not that easy to burst down. Also, and this poor Shaker is gonna be struggling. But he knew that this is how it's gonna be going. I mean, they picked the Shaker into the Monkey King, so he was somewhat aware that pain is gonna be coming his way. But he's holding his own for now.
He is, and also by the stand-in player Morel. We have discussed upon a couple of times. At least I personally wanted to bring up the topic multiple times for people to actually recognize like how well this guy has been playing, even if you are probably on the best Dota team in the world. While in the top lane, there's also a fight going down in mid as he's trying to commit onto the Earthshaker. So a TP rotation is going in there at the same time as Amar finishes off the Poshka and gets the double. With the 2-point Quill Spray is enough to finish off the Morphling. Not enough HP coming in from that attribute shift. And almost maxed out completely. So Amar smells that his opportunity and his time has come. Morphling's going to miss a big wave.
This Shaker just went to base, came back, went to base again. I mean, at least he got boots, but this is kind of sad for him. But that on the top lane, we literally saw Falcons outplay Team Spirit. There is nothing else to look at. Your bristleback is super low. You think he's gonna be running away, and suddenly he's turning around because the Morphling did morph a lot into strength. And the Disruptor, naturally, the hero just doesn't do damage. So they recognize an opportunity to go forward. They have a lot of minus armor to work with. And, I mean, the rest is history. They get 2 kills. They make that lane perfect for them.
Yep. Make it work. And as I also mentioned, Yatoro missing out on a couple creeps. It does always hurt as a core player when you're dying by the time the creep wave is about to push under your objective. And it's not even completely unheard of if there's like a double or even a triple wave. Maybe say there's 3 range creeps that you just buy back, TP and get that wave. Like waste a bit of money to get that money back because you're still getting a ton of experience. But Yatoro missed out on quite a lot of that. And Amar is about to hit level 6 as a consequence of what's been going on in this top lane.
It's looking really good for a bristleback, and you don't really have a lot of things to stop him early on. Rotations from the Monkey King are a possibility, but then you're allowing the Shaker to start coming back into the game.
Miposhka was hoping to invade. Oh, he put that Obs ward on the edge of that sentry. So Crit was able to get the D ward off, and now he knows someone's around, and Miposhka is going to get trapped from 2 different directions. The glimpse goes off, and now Snaking is able to Mirel. Shield rune. Can he help Miposhka out? Looks like he's just going to call it off. He's going to run away.
Smart
Kill
choice
for Falcons, and the wisdom secured.
Again, Falcons are just reading Team Spirit so well. It's insane how well they're doing it. I mean, Spirit, they got everything. They've got positioning, they've got wards, their laning stage, especially from the mid lane, is going well. And you cannot get there. Falcons are always going to be ready. I mean, even before that, Snaking is TPing 5 seconds earlier to be in the right position.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But
it's unfortunate for the Monkey King that he doesn't get any benefit off of that shield rune, because he was really ready to fight, but it was just the 2 of them versus too many Falcons heroes.
Their ward is still there.
Going in deep onto Crit here. Morale loading up. Gets the Jingoose up. Level 3 will finish him off. Malrine got glimpsed back from whence he came from, so he's all the way back to the fountain. Mamar hoping to finish off Miposhka here, and looks like he's gonna get this one too, but can he also walk out? Morel
no mana.
Keep up with the Bristle. He still has a Healing Lotus and a Magic Wand, but he looks up to the mid lane where Collapse was pressuring Snaking. So Team Spirit making some moves of their own. But can they keep up the chase? The Fissure is there. The slow coming out from the Scatter Blast. Good lift from Rue. And Skitter, who popped his Dragon form, has nothing to hit.
Yeah, that ward from Team Spirit finally giving them an edge. In those fights, they get a kill, they get out, they glimpse the Shaker, and a lot of rotations from Falcons were used. So this is the Spirit that we know and love. They poke, they get something, and they still get themselves out because you're not there fast enough to,
They're not over yet.
To respond.
AD Monkey King on its way, and Rubik just has to walk in onto them. Sends Skitter closer to his allies into the Pulverize, and an AD at work by Morel. That DK will die before they lose a Rubik, and a double for Collapse running down Snaking. So with 1 move of aggression into another right after, they'll get 2 big kills. The DK dies for the first time.
They're kiting Malrine so well. I think Falcons should change their strategy. Just go on Yatoro and force TPs here. That's the way.
Toro down. Poshka hoping he's got enough on Amar, but there's the cookie from Crit. The tower and the grenade will not be enough to finish the Bristle.
Beautiful. He's going for a Lotus Orb in this game as well versus the Primal Beast. It's actually a really, really good thing to have, because this Primal Beast is probably going to be going for like Blink Dagger BKB. That makes a lot of sense for him to do it, and the only way that you're going to be able to cancel that ulti is if you've got a Lotus Orb on the target that he wants to go for.
He's coming out with 5k in the laning stage again on this Bristle. This was like 2 back-to-back Bristleback performances, and both in the same series, where Amar is #1 in net worth. Like his Bristleback is a serious mean machine.
Let's see though. Spirit, if you're Spirit, you want to fight around the Monkey King. If you're Falcons, you want to fight around the Bristleback. So we're probably going to be seeing Falcons forcing the issue around the top lane and being ready to TP towards the mid lane. And of course, Spirit, just the opposite, forcing the issue around the mid lane and being ready to TP on the top lane and save Yatoro.
We're going to have 2 simultaneous blink timings coming up. One for Collapse and one for Skitter.
And their Shaker has one already.
There's a glimpse ready for Miposhka. Sends Crit in. Amar is charging out as well. Difficult to pulverize, but the cookie hits as well, so that interrupts Collapse. Suddenly forced on the run. The Bristleback wants to chase the Primal all the way. Forces Onslaught at least. Malrine shows up now, and the stun lock is there, and Primal ain't going anywhere.
I'm surprised
Saving that Onslaught for a bit too long.
Went on the top lane. Like, I don't know why they were there. I mean, there's absolutely no way that on Falcon's timings that you're gonna be able to fight her, especially if you are dangling one of the 2 best counter initiation heroes that you have. If it's your Primal Beast or your Monkey that's getting caught first, you have lost the fight. So I really don't like what Spirit did there. I really thought they were gonna be playing around the Monkey King a bit more.
Right next to Snaking and Amar. Steals the blast. I'll get to work on Pogna Morel. Landing the Wukongs, the lift comes in, the Crepify is over, but Malreed blinks in with the Echo Slam, and the Monkey King is down, and Rubik is going to follow suit with the Snapfire, throwing in that Mortar Barrage. Snaking picks up both of the kills, but Malrine is the one to rescue the situation with that Blink Echo. And because of the kill on Collapse in the top lane, his Blink was delayed, and Shaker finished his. So Falcons, again, quick play from an item finished.
You see a night and day difference where the side of Falcons, they're going on to Collapse, which is one of the better counter initiations. If Spirit would go for Shaker, fine, but you can't do this.
TPs are coming in late. Not sure if they can get a fight going here. Morel is pretty much hitting his head on the wall here. From death to TP in. Taking a chunk. He's down to half. Crit, another Scatter Blast is ready. Amar's trying to slow him down with the Snot, the explosions, and the Drain is coming in. And Miposhka is now also hunted, and Spirit are losing heroes back and forth. Amar for another. Now 5-0.
It's so easy now for us, for the side of Falcons to play, right? Because you have 2 Blink Daggers, which are going to be allowing you to get on top of either the Primal Beast or the Monkey King. And once one of those heroes are caught, Spirit cannot fight any longer. And you know what? In that last engagement, they caught both of them. Collapse had to onslaught away, leaving the Monkey King all alone. So it's not like they're even protecting each other. They're just both running away from Falcons. So things are definitely not looking good. If Spirit want to fight, they have to be ready. If not, then you should just cut your losses. The TP's in right now. They look very, very tough for them to do. Whereas Falcons, they have a very good turnaround potential with multiple of their heroes, especially because they have a Pugna to keep somebody alive for a long period of time. Even himself, they jump on the Pugna. I would expect the support to die, but this dumb hero that I wanted them to ban just uses the Decrepify and buys so much time.
Yeah, with the damage build-up ain't fast enough on one side, that Pugna is going to end up saving lives, and Snaking is also with a 7 KDA as a support. Spirit's only picked up 4 kills so far. Hoping to change that. Look for a couple of their own. That is the blink on the Primal, which is why Collapse and Miposhka are smoking up right behind Morel down the mid lane. TP is already coming in with a Snapfire to address that mid lane push. But Crit is actually smoked himself, so Falcons know something's up.
Are they going to read them again as the real thing?
Ace from Malrine. They do find a target. It's Skitter. He's already down to 700. Gets his Dragon form off, but nothing else. So Collapse and Morel get the quick blow-up kill. Onto Miposhka. They go next. Will not get the chance to send a proper glimpse here. He dies to the Nether Ward in the end. So Snaking his source of kills. The level 1 Nether Ward.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yep, pretty much. He's getting quite a lot of them though, right? 5. And this is the advantage of the Pugna, right? Suddenly, your DK is dead. You think, oh, they don't have their pusher, but you've got a position 5, opens up the map. Now with the 2 blink daggers, we always emphasize it. When you have a blink stun, I'm gonna blow you up type lineup, the mid lane tower is the most important to get down. Because once you do it, the access points to any point of the map are just so easy to get to. So now it's gonna be much, much tougher for Spirit to actually stay hidden when Falcons are going for a hunt.
What is their timing going to be like? Because Morel's had to be really active on this Monkey King, the hero that needs to be involved in a lot of kills so that he doesn't fall behind. Not exactly the fastest farmer, especially when he's maxed out Boundless Strike above 3 dance, so he's last in net worth. And we see this happen quite a lot on mid Monkey Kings, that if they are last and they fall behind, they fall really far behind. So what's the play for Team Spirit here? Is it just try and find openings again with Collapse on that blink?
There's 2 things, right? One is the collapse BKB, the other one is the Monkey King shard, right? With the Monkey King shard, sometimes, even if he gets caught, he's going to be able to get himself away, and that is kind of the name of the game. Survive the initial jump from Team Falcons. The turnaround from Spirit is not to be underestimated, especially if it takes a bit too long for Falcons to go for the Monkey King. They don't get the kill, and there's a TP even from the Morphling. The damage output from Spirit could be good enough.
Let's see if they can get that, because they're going to need this Morphling in the game 2 at some stage, with his team not completely fallen apart. Some teams have cracked under pressure. Some of those games and their highlights can be found on Fissure's social media, !F into chat if you're not following Fissure yet. Falcons are just claiming more and more territory on the side of Spirit's map. They see Yotaro under vision, and the hunt is on. Scan is also there. But no TPs are coming in. They believe he can get away, but he gets cancelled by Crit's Cookie. No way for Yotaro to escape. Make an effort, but that's all he can really show. And
Nether Ward.
Nether Ward.
Radiant's bottom
MVP.
tower is under attack.
That's how it goes. Okay, at least they're trying to utilize this to get a little bit of an opening on the map themselves. I mean,
Mass TPs to defend a
not
T1
allowing
tower with Skitter Blink. We've seen this before. When Skitter has that Blink, they are willing to defend these side lane T1s.
I mean, considering that the enemies don't have a tier 1, you can shove out the wave quite a lot. And then, okay, he denied the tower. But generally, it will allow your tower to stay alive a bit longer and force Team Spirit to go for a bit more of a commitment to really open up the map a little bit for themselves.
They're really spread it on the map. Collapses, sniping couriers. 1. Can't get the second. He blinks backwards, only to run forwards again because Snaking is high on his heels. But he doesn't see the Primal Beast. At least the Shaker wants to walk in, but Collapse is going to snipe another. And money, money, money. That is 145 gold per player
Radiant's middle tower is
from
under
these
attack.
2 courier snipes.
Not bad at all.
Morel finds Amar. Maposhka's coming in. Static Storm instantly dropped on him. They have to get through his mana pool. The man is also holding on to a Lotus Orb. And there's the Pugna, but an interruption comes in from Collapse. They target the Pugna, the Cookie on the Pugna as well, but it doesn't really put him in a better position because Yatoro is able to clean him up, and Collapse will also get the streak off of Amar. The Team Spirit is finally getting some breathing room, and maybe also in the form of a Roshan, but here's a beautiful play there. Collapse blinks in for vision, Miposhka with the glimpse, crit down, 3 heroes dead. But it's not a Roche call. They'll just take what they can.
This is pretty much Collapse who made it all happen, right? First of all, it was him killing those couriers, so he got a lot of hate there, and Falcons lost some time. It allowed Spirit to prepare around this part of the map, and then Falcons, of course, didn't get there in time to have that counter initiation that we've been talking about that is just so useful for them. So Spirit, just like that, one move, and you get yourself back into the game when it comes to net worth, and that is just the effect of the Disruptor. This hero hates playing from behind, but it is usually one fight that can change a lot.
Tower is under attack.
Skitter is hunting for Miposhka. They're not too far off either. High on his heels. Can he get the stun first on Miposhka before the glimpse comes out? He doesn't see him because he walks down the stairs, and the damage is going to be sufficient for Skitter to find a support. Now they're pinging Amar down in mid. Rue and Morel together. And TP's coming in.
They
Could
know
be
he's
a
alone.
4v1. Could be a 5v1. They're bringing Yatoro here as well. And Amar, all he needs to do is survive a bit longer. But is there any way he lives long enough? Almost takes down Morel and Rue with him with the blade mail. And those quills flying around. But he will die. And just like that. Remember game 2 when he died quite deep in the lane? He died at the 20-minute mark. That is a tormentor for Falcons.
Yep, it seems to be the call, though. I think he didn't want to stay there for too long. Both of the teams really utilizing their vision. That chase from Falcons, why did they chase for a disruptor that long? Because they know there's a ward behind. So if the side of Spirit start TPing in, they're gonna see them and you can win an even bigger engagement. On the other hand, this ward on the cliff next to the pit from Spirit gives them the confidence to go for the bristleback. Sure, they knew that his teammates were not in the vicinity, but what if they started running forward and
Yatoro's in
without
vision.
that ward? They see
Skitter's
him.
got Orchid ready. There's Manto and Yatoro, so they need to lock him down with the Echo Slam. Might just be enough. And they got Miposhka first, but Yatoro down to half. Here comes Morel. BKB pop. Beautiful hit on the back line. Malrine and Skitter just walk away. And they are hunting the Rubik now. Snapfire ulti to provide some of that extra backup from range. Malrine is still being controlled by Morel, but he's moving around in the trees, and Yatoro's fissure will not connect. Malrine walks and blinks away. They'll get away with the 2 supports. Nobody dies, but BKBs have been used. Morel's still not out of vision, though. They just jump him right away. He thought the fight's over, but you thought wrong, son.
Yeah, he probably thought because it was daytime that the enemies were just running in with the smoke and it broke on the Rubik, and that's it. But that wasn't the case. Falcons had that ward there for quite some time, and it allowed them now to get a pretty huge fight into the pit. They go, of course, having the Dragonite, having the Bristleback. This should be taken down quite fast. However, I'm pretty impressed how well Malrine is using the shard, right? People tend to forget about the fact that when you use the fissure and you have the shard, you can use that fissure as a path. And that's the only reason that he was able to escape. Without it, he just would have been stuck, and that Monkey King kills him. Thus, a completely different story. But because he outplayed him, he managed to get the blink away because of that fissure. Everything changes, everything turns, and now Falcons are quite a decent amount ahead.
Getting that lead, at least in terms of the economy, back, which they had a while ago before that Team Spirit successful fight in front of that Roshan pit and the hunt from Collapse. Collapse, despite being on the receiving end most of this game, he's only died once. He's still playing a hell of a Primal Beast, and he's 3rd in net worth. So above Malrine, above Skitter, who you'd think that have been having a fantastic game all along. He's actually ahead of them in farm.
Radiant are scanning.
Well, Spirit are now in a smoke. They want to change something. They do have their 9-second BKB on the Primal Beast, and of course 8-second on the Monkey King. So this is their timing, right? Because especially with the long BKBs, even if you don't get the right initiation, you can commit for a longer period of time and not be afraid of the shaker turnaround. So this is kind of the point of the game where you need to get the advantage, and despite the enemies having the Aegis, it shouldn't dissuade you from going forward.
Bottom fight by the looks of it. Yatoro is deep under the tower. Echo is still available, but they got Collapse's BKB, but that Polarize will do nothing. It hits into the Lotus that was cast on Malrine. So he'll hold his ground. They will hunt down Miposhka. 2 more kills for Falcons. And how did that... Actually, it wasn't even a Lotus because Amar was not in the fight. He's the only one who has it. Has been going for that Lotus 3 out of 3 games now.
I think he just got glimpsed back. I think he was the part of the fight. He came over, he put a Lotus, and he got glimpsed back.
Oh, yeah, that could have been. Yeah, there we go. Disruptor glimpse, so that answers all of our questions. I just didn't notice the Amar bristled back around there for a second.
Yeah, he was there for a very low period of time, right?
He was. He said hi and said bye.
Yeah, but he contributed so much to that fight.
Holding on to that Aegis still on the side of Falcons. Collapse is on the hunt deep. That NK ulti is a slightly bit off the mark. They do have Spirit's vision here, but also Snapfire providing quite a lot. Yatoro has no target to hit because either they're running away or they're getting decrepified. Collapse is dead to Amar, and Amar is getting to work once again in front of Morel, in front of Yatoro. And the stolen Rubik Snapfire Mortimer's Kiss is coming in this time, but Mirel is dead, and still not a single Falcon Heroes has died in this engagement. And Amar continues to go.
Ru is probably dead as well.
Already 3 seconds for Fissure. If Rubik doesn't get to the high ground, he's done for. There we go. Flips back on Amar, but Melreen just blinks in, finishes the kill, and the mid tower is history. 9,000 gold suddenly of an advantage for Falcons.
Ooh, they decided to fight without the Primal Beast BKB. That's like impossible right now. Because Spirit were waiting for that BKB on the Primal Beast. That was their way into this game. That was like, okay, now we can finally fight. And then just because their tier 2 is being sieged, they go super aggressive with the Primal Beast, who doesn't have it, with the Wukong's command slightly. But I think even if Falcons were deeper in that Wukong's command, they don't die. Maybe they're unable to turn the fight around, but they can at least get themselves away.
Hopefully
I have
Team
to say,
Spirit still
Panda,
has something in the bag. Tell me, Harry.
No, Spirit are not on point. Like, it is now quite obvious that they are not at their best at the moment. Something is missing, and quite a lot at that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to put it that way too, because you know the head-to-head record between the two teams coming into this grand finals has been very even throughout the year. Both teams taking wins off of each other. It's just as of late it has been stomps, and we are continuing that trend of stomps. Now it's just going the other direction, where Falcons break or already broke that losing streak to Team Spirit, and now actually make them taste their own medicine of losing a grand finals 3-0, because it is getting closer to that point. It's not fully over. There's still a lot of things for Team Spirit to play. We are still yet to unleash the full might of this Morphling. His farm is still good. Yatoro at 13k, only now slightly behind Skitter. But man, Amar has been topping net worth since the laning stage, and continues to do so from the offlane position. What a hell of a series. And man, Amar today in general has been looking great. Yatoro got a bit unlucky there as he got hit by the Prowler. And they went for a quick opening. That window also melted in their eyes, so they just backed away. Team Spirit coming in with numbers. The whole team is here to defend the triangle.
But right now, if you're Falcons, you know that they responded there because they have to. There's no other way around it. So even if you don't have eyes immediately on them, you know that they're in the area. This just gives you a pretty clear idea of how Spirit are going to be moving in the next 2 minutes. So that gives you time for your form of the DK to come back and for you to prepare for a next fight. It's just that Falcons are playing really, really well, whereas Spirit are just getting baited into bad position after bad position. And now we saw an Aeon disc on the Shaker. Malrine has been going for this quite a lot. He just wants to be able to get out of that initial stun, and I really do like it. If he gets caught by the pulverize, he still should be able to reset in the fight. And he's playing this Shaker more of as I'm gonna spam spells rather than I'm a big Echo Slam guy, even though he finds those. But with the Octarine Core, he just wants to stay away, use the Fissure, and annoy his opponents. Play for a long fight.
Yeah, he's been seen doing that quite a lot, where he's just standing at the back, Fissure support for his allies, and that being Amar running rampant, and Skitter just finding openings to dish out damage every time he has Dragon Tail available. So yeah, they're really nicely playing together with their abilities and just min-maxing it to the limit. But it seems to work for Falcons, you know. 3 games in a row now, the way that they maneuver between these cores, and where does snaking have to be? Where does Crit have to be? Man, this is such a laid-back game for Crit to play the Snapfire too, because his cores are thriving. Malrine hasn't even died this game. He's got 17 assists from all of the Mortimer's Kisses landing on opponents. That you kind of just put your feet on the table and enjoy the results.
Exactly. Once I'm looking at Spirit right now, their BKBs did get lower on the Monkey King and on the Primal Beast. Not too much, I guess. The Primal Beast still has his 8-second BKB charge. But when this Shaker has an Octarine Core, you just cannot fight any longer. If Falcons don't want to give you a fight, they don't have to. And with the Tectonic buildup, and him already being close to level 20, you are just not gonna move in those fights, at least not in the way that you want.
And also, if you also look at morale, if this is a tournament fully completed by a stand-in, on the side of Team Spirit, BKB is away. It's just that you could say that the lack of playing Tier 1 competitive games, that was way too close to comfort. It is starting to show now that when you're on the losing end, even if you're combined with 4 of the most talented players a Dota team has almost ever seen, you are going to start lacking in your knowledge of what are we going to do in a situation like this. We're quite heavily behind. So he has a roll, but Rue is the next on the list here for Malrine. Taking over the triangle once again, forcing Team Spirit out. Roshan waiting to be claimed. It is with a banner. Malrine walks in on Collapse. Gets the Enchant Totem right-click off and into the Disruptor ulti, and there's the Aeon Disc. What's your ulti gonna do now? Yatoro walks up to him. Fissure blocks on Pugna and Bristle back there. Snaking and Amar are just staring at Malrine, taking a 1 versus 1 versus Yatoro. Crit coming in from the side, throws in the cookie with a blink, and there comes the Monkey King ulti. Snaking and Amar, who have been observers in this team fight. They'll lose one of their guys, and Amar is left alone in the river to battle versus Yatoro, just trying to keep tabs on him and keep him annoyed. Skitter is joining in now as well on the side as they take Miposhka. Collapse, blink is open. Yatoro is still looking for an angle in, hoping that with Morel they maybe take down Malrine. Amar's taken Rue on the other side of the river. Echo on Yatoro. Malrine slapped the totem in the man's face as Crit is still trying to survive versus Morel. No such luck, and Amar joins in. The 3 evil cores of Falcons will take down the rest of Team Spirit in this fight. Miposhka bought back for nothing to be found, and if he dies too, I don't think they're necessarily going to get to him in time. He still has the glimpse, but Amar, he's got his sights on him. He'll Lotus it up, but just a little bit too late. If he got the Lotus play on that glimpse, ooh. But they're still going for it. They're still going. They're just going to get Miposhka in front of his face. There used to be a disruptor there. 6-1 in kills. Now we got an instant replay. Let's go back to that. Harry, talk to me.
Unplayable. This is how I'm gonna talk you through it. The fights are unplayable for Team Spirit if this Shaker is alive. And they found the perfect target. So we have got the perfect target. He's relatively isolated. His teammates are not that close. He survives without many problems. And at this point, when the Shaker is in a good position, you can no longer win a fight. And it's only gonna get worse once he gets the Octarine core. Remember, I think it was one of the position 4s that was playing the Shaker, was calling for this Octarine, that it changes the game so much, makes it so hard for the opposing team to play. I'm really liking that Malrine is trying to popularize this this build, because right now with the Shaker or these mid lane jump stunners being more popular in the meta, I think this is one of the scariest ones. It's just impossible. At this point, at the point where the Shaker survived the Static Storm was a point where Spirit lost the fight. It was only a question how many more heroes are going to die, and they got all of them.
Amar trying to capitalize on that Bloodthorn thrown on the Rubik, but Skitter, who was glimpsed away, just go straight back to pushing once again. Malrine is also looking at Morel in the bottom lane. He's going to initiate on him. He has Echo Slime. He's just going to nuke him down from 100 to 0 by the looks of it. 40 HP remaining. Malrine just needs to read where he went next. 6 seconds on the blink. Fissure ready in 3. Does he see him? Does he know? He does! And he scores!
Oh boy, he's like, he knows where I am. What am I supposed to do? And he just comes down from the tree to die faster. Not really anything that you can do at that point. Look at this
They're
damage.
going straight through backdoor protection. With the amount of damage that they have, they're just chewing through objectives. One lane completely done. Yatoro is going to get a bit of a push going on in the top lane. He is at the tier 3 tower. The Falcons have already claimed the lane. And they're thinking about another. Yatoro is just going to do some damage. There's the Radiant Glyph coming into play. There's no Dire Glyph remaining anymore, so Team Spirit are just holding. 10 seconds for Monkey, 13 seconds for Rubik. Yatoro is now finally getting through that tier 3 tower by the time the mid lane is completely gone.
Look at Shaker's position. Just to look at
Yatoro's going for the... Okay, I was thinking tier 4. Yeah, he's going tier 4 tier. He's like, there's no other way out of this game except force them back. He's hitting tier 4 tower right now. They're pinging him. No
Shaker is coming
TPs
back.
just quite yet, except for Malrine. He'll hold Yatoro. He'll keep him busy. We got a Shaker battle going on in our mini camera there. And another fight just outside of the base of Team Spirit. Disruptor ulti on top of Skitter, but he also gets pushed out of it with the electromagnetic repulsion.
Morphling is coming
Morel.
back.
Morel's BKB is still up, and Mars trying to keep him as slow as possible. There we go. The BKB is now popped up, and Morphling has left. Shaker is on his way. There's no Pugna. It's a 3 versus 5 fight that they're taking right now, and they're getting the Monkey King. 3 versus 5 and getting away with a kill.
Shaker is already back, and Morphling was forced to use the BKB. Shaker didn't, his Aeon disc didn't get popped, so it's just a disaster.
And then they go straight. Oh yeah, he's deleted. Morphling deleted from there. Collapse
back.
went in at the same time as they were hoping to get the damage in from the Morphling, but Falcons once again just one step faster. They have been faster this entire series, but can Spirit still hold one more time? Collapse goes down. Morel's ulti down the drain pretty much as he does get the changing of the guard save for himself, but the Snapfire is slowly but surely burning him down. Another shotgun to the face, and there goes Morel. 90 seconds, he is out as he diebacks, and Team Falcons looking for a 3-0 sweep. They got struck by that sweep before in EWC. They got 2-0'd by Spirit in the group stage, but vengeance is theirs. Falcons 3-0. Congratulations. Grace.
And it was deserved. They were a much better team today. Everything that Team Spirit thought of didn't go through, and everything that Falcons had in mind was just done really well. I mean, Falcons are like, yeah, they're baiting us. And